show that women are gaining on men in viewing pornography. But the question that Rick Thomas at rickthomas.com, he changed his website. He used to be Competent Counseling. Now he's at rickthomas.com. I don't know why either. Ask the question, Madam, are you addicted to backwards pornography? What is exactly backwards pornography, word order aside? You like guys looking at you. You don't like looking at guys or sexual acts. You like guys ogling you. That's backward pornography. Do you have that? You have a desire to feel better about yourself, to present yourself and to dress in such a way, or to sit in such a way, or walk, or to turn your head and throw your hair in such a way that you draw attention to yourself because you like the ogling of men, maybe in a sexual way, maybe just because it gives you some sort of fulfillment. When you get dressed in the morning, do you think about God's gaze upon you or someone else's? Do you dress to put God's name on display or your physicality on display? Would your friends or spouse say you are overly concerned about how you look? Good question. Madam, there's a way to do it. Can you go to the store and really not care how you look? Oh, no, I can't go to, I can't go to Target looking like this. How can I go to... Look, that doesn't mean that you're sinning necessarily. It really doesn't. I understand you know, I got it. But, I mean, if it's like kicking and screaming, I die before I go to Target looking like this, maybe something's wrong. Are you free to not wear makeup? Do you secretly compare yourself to other women? Do you check out the competition to see if you look better than they do? When a woman walks in the room, do you turn your head to see if, well, she's not better looking than me? Could it be that you have a backward pornography addiction? Because you want to be the one that gets looked at. You like it. You need it. Something's missing. Something's wrong. And so you desire that. Rick Thomas. If you can find a flaw in other women, you might feel better about yourself. If the other woman appeared to be more together or better looking, then you would feel worse about yourself. Does that describe you? This is one of the reasons porn is so devastating to a woman. In her mind, she cannot compete with what her husband is looking at in the cyber world. Isn't that interesting? Women, by the way, gentlemen, they feel horrid if they discover you're looking at porn, or frankly, if your eyes are bopping around. Because they feel like they're the loser. You like something better than them, and it makes them feel miserable. But we're not talking about the fellas right now, madam. We're talking about you. Do you desire to capture the gaze of a man? To feel a sense of power if you can make a man look twice? Do you suffer from backward pornography? Couple of questions for the fellas, and these aren't the ones that I was going to ask you at the very beginning, but these are included in the Rick Thomas article, Backward Porn Addiction. Sir, how are you shepherding your daughters regarding their temptations towards sensuality? If you say, I don't know what you're talking about, then you're not, okay? Because the issue is there. And if you say to me, it's not there in my house, then you are not paying attention. You're not looking around. It's there. There is, and this is not, trust me, this is not an impugning accusation against one of my daughters. One day I noticed, and this was miraculous to me because we don't get magazines in our house that are fashion magazines. We don't get them. We don't get the people in the, however, who's sending us this copy of, what is it? It's called In Touch magazine. Not the Charles Stanley In Touch. It's In Touch magazine. It's sort of like a People or a We or, these entertainment things. Every week it shows up and it's like, we didn't subscribe to this. Are magazines doing that now to build up their subscription where they just send them out for free so that they can tell their advertisers that they're in 1.4 million homes? Are they doing that? Because we didn't ask for this thing. Or did somebody send this to us as a gift? Well, if you did, we don't like gifts like that. One day, all of a sudden, I noticed that one of my daughters had fashion sense. And I don't know how it happened. I just don't. We're not about that in our house. I mean, look at us. So that's just not what we do. And so I had to ask myself, how did this happen? How did she get to this point? And the answer is, I don't know, but she did. And I'm not saying that she dresses worldly. That is not my point at all, because I believe that there's a way for a godly girl or woman to dress in a very God-honoring way and still look like she doesn't belong basically in the 1920s. I think it can happen. And somehow, my daughter acquired that knowledge. And we don't feed it to her. It must be images, the stuff that is caught on. She pays attention. She got it. It's going on in your house, sir. And perhaps you, like me, just aren't aware of it. Be aware of it so that you can guide your daughter through this. Husband, are you aware of who is hitting on your wife? Is your wife eye candy for others? Sir, what are you doing to shepherd your daughters and your wife in this area? Because, ladies, you're going to have to trust us on this one. You have no idea how we look at you. You can't even fathom it. And if you say, well, yes, I'm 50 years old now, I think I understand you, men. No, you don't. You are simply going to have to trust us on this one. Okay? You ever see those Wild Kingdom shows where somebody's walking down the path and there's this lion with crouching behind? That's us. Okay? So unless you get that, you don't get it. Well, they can't be that bad. No, worse. Okay, that analogy just limps. You'll have to trust us that we have your best in mind when we say, maybe not that, honey. Not good. Not good. So we will do our best to help you with that, but we can't help your heart on the inside. That's between you and Jesus. Do you have inward, backward pornography desire? Backward porn addiction? Alrighty, madam, what is your cure for your backward pornography addiction? Well, at the risk of being somewhat simplistic, although thankfully it is somewhat simplistic, you need to remember the gospel. Now, how is the gospel going to help you if you have some sort of, let's call it, an emotional deficiency? You have something inside of you that needs something. It could be a lot of things. It could be you need men to look at you. It could be that you need praise from people. It could be that you need a husband who, fill in the blank. It could be that you need to argue for whatever you've got that need. You've got some sort of desire in you that is an emotional deficiency. Let's talk specifically about backward porn addiction as described by Rick Thomas at rickthomas.net. And I think then you'll be able to apply this to your own life. If you are a woman who is suffering from backward porn addiction, you like men and maybe women, not for sexual reasons, that was not a hint of lesbianism. You like women to look at you to get their affirming look. Whatever that is, you like it. Or you like compliments based on looks. So it could be sexual, it could be non-sexual. How do you lose that need? Well, I would, without being pop psychologist, I think it's pretty obvious what's going on. You need some sort of affirmation. Now, here's the question. Is it right for a human to desire the praises of men for their physical presentation? And I think the answer to that is a somewhat qualified, that's not right. That's not right. Is it wrong to try to look your best? Nope, didn't say that. Is it wrong to ever study fashion? Did not say that. To look what the haircut trends are? Not talking about that. I'm talking about you really need that fulfillment that comes from affirming looks or affirming statements or even sexual glances or double-turned heads. That's not right. You are having a misdirected desire for something. You are needing acceptance. Here's my gospel question for you. How accepted are you in Jesus Christ? How accepted are you because of the atoning work of Jesus Christ? And the answer should be totally accepted. Totally, completely accepted. And here's the kicker. Not based on your head-turning looks, your seductive hair flip, your amazing ability to put on makeup and perfume. None of that is what brings you acceptance. None of it. You are fully accepted because of the work of Jesus. And it's not based on his works, because he did not have works that would attract people to him. It was because of his work, his suffering, his fulfilling of every single law. You, madam, are fully accepted in God. Do you realize that? Never 90%, 50%. Today's kind of iffy about you 10%. Hanging in there, but little shake. No, 100%. If you put on your makeup and you nail it that day, you are 100% accepted in Jesus Christ. You run out of the house because it was on fire and you couldn't put on your makeup. Do you know how accepted you are? 100%. If you go to the store and you come home and it turns out that you've got broccoli stuck, you know those two places next to your two front teeth and you're right there where that always happens right there? You're 100% accepted in Jesus Christ. Did you just jump on the scale and you weigh 5 pounds more than you thought you did? You're 100% accepted in Jesus Christ. I'm sorry, did you say that your wardrobe is not as nice as Betty Sue's down the street? You're 100% accepted in Jesus Christ. You're getting wrinkly? Oh. Were you not aware that you're 100% accepted in Jesus Christ? Did you say something is very saggy? It's just all gravity is just clobbering you? You're 100% accepted in Jesus Christ. Did you say that your husband is looking at pornography? You're 100% accepted in Jesus Christ. You must get that formula stuck inside of your head. That is your key. How many sermons have you perhaps heard, or little toss-away lines? You need to find your fulfillment in Jesus. How do you do that? You need to understand your fulfillment in Jesus is because you are 100% accepted in him, despite what you look like. Because, by the way, I got to tell you something. While I think that human beings can be beautiful, I don't think we're nearly as beautiful as what we should be and as amazing as what we should be. I think the fall has us probably more marred than we realize. And quite honestly, ultimately, next to the ultimate beauty of things that are truly beautiful, we're so tainted with sin, we're not beautiful at all. Well, we talked about this reference in hour 1. He gives beauty for ashes. He takes ashes, dirt, mingled with sin, and says you are fully accepted in Jesus Christ. You don't need a man's gaze. You don't need friends on Facebook to tell you that you are fully accepted in Jesus Christ. Have them if you want to, but you don't need them to know that you're fully accepted in Jesus Christ. Madam, that's what you must be pondering daily. That's the gospel. You are fully accepted. Not because somebody thinks you're hot or sexy, or you gave them a head snap, or because the construction workers gave you a hoot when you walked by. Really? You want that type of affirmation anyway? Really? From dogs? And I'm not just talking about construction workers. I'm talking about from men. Remember the gospel. You're fully accepted because of Jesus. And that is how you get over your desire for affirmation. That, by the way, is how you get over your desire for having a perfect husband and perfect children and perfect neighbors. You're fully accepted in Jesus. What else do you need? Really? I know you need air and water and food. Got it. Clothing is good too. Some more than others. Clothing, very good. But you are fully accepted. You don't need the perfect husband. It's a bonus. It's a blessing if you got one. You don't need that. You're fully accepted in Jesus Christ. Nice to have kids who are obedient. You're fully accepted in Jesus. Do you see what starts to happen to your brain when you marinate in that? That suddenly those things of this earth grow strangely dim in the light of his glory and grace. Understanding the height, the width, the depth, the breadth, the length, the every dimension you can think of, that is in Jesus. Knowing that you are fully accepted, you need to ponder that more, and you'll get over your backward porn addiction.